Hi guys, it's me Tilly, and we are back with another Abyss Dungeon guide, this time featuring the Sea of Indolence, which is the first 8-player dungeon in the game, and it is so hype, it is so much fun, really. For the first part of this dungeon, you will be wearing one of two random dive suits that are using either a harpoon or a fist weapon. So just spam all of your different abilities on your way to the first boss to really get used to the different skills. It is no witchcraft, you'll figure that out easily. For the first boss himself, try to stay out of the AoEs he does, which is, I guess, the pretty obvious part here, since if hit by them, they will stack up a damage over time effect that can get lethal if you gather too many of them. So if in danger, you could always use a panacea here to get rid of the stacks and stopping any incoming damage. The only other thing to mention in this fight is the shark ad that spawns rather early into the encounter, and you just want to full target switch onto that one, because once killed you will receive a major damage buff, speeding up the entire kill of the first boss. Then, while we are on our way to the second boss, let me explain a mechanic that is shared between all three sea dungeons. It is the oxygen mechanic indicated by the little icon right above your head. Once you run out of it, you will start taking some serious damage. So you have to replenish it every now and then by either picking up these purple flowers here, which are a full restore, or by standing on top of the bubbles. Every 2 seconds recovers 25%. You can easily spot both of them by looking at the minimap. There are way more enough during the trash phases, but during the bosses you will need to pay closer attention to find them. Talking about bosses, let's move on to the second boss. I will first give a real quick rundown of the things that you need to know. And then for everybody that's a bit more interested in understanding really everything, I will have a section really talking about need things to know. But for all of you guys that want the short version, I will start with that one, and then you can feel free to skip the in-depth version later on. Let me start off with the stun mechanic, since that gets most people killed actually during this encounter. When you take hits from the boss, he stacks up a debuff on you. The first 3 are fine to take, the 4th one will stun you. However, your party can attack you in order to break you free, much like on the Hildebrand Palace dungeon in Tier 1. Note that you cannot use a panacea to break out of the stun, however you can cleanse off the stacks if you are on 3 or below, which is something I highly recommend you consider doing in really sticky situations where you just cannot afford to get stunned, or where you are about to get stunned, you know that's gonna happen and you can just pop it right before to reset your stacks. The stun itself is so dangerous because of the one-shot AoE the boss likes to do a lot, like every 30 seconds or so. It's actually crazy. There will only ever be a small safe zone in the room that you have to get into, which can be really difficult if unable to move. So helping other players to get out of their stun is always your #1 priority in this fight. Because if you lose too many members during this fight, you will be lacking the damage to finish off the boss before his enrage. Again, that is assuming you don't have crazy high overgeared players, because then who cares about damage? But in a party where everybody is just a few gear score higher than the recommended, you will need everybody alive for most of the encounter. Let's talk about the one-shot again. The AoE actually spreads out from the safe zone itself, so if you are not close by when it spawns, just pay attention to the red AoE coming your way, and then obviously just move right into it. There will also be a lot of pings happening from the game itself, so there's really good audio cues to go off of. So I hope you're playing with your sound turned on, because that will be very, very helpful in this encounter. When the boss reaches 50%, his legs get chopped off and he gets a bunch of new moves. However, the main idea of the fight really remains the same. Balance your oxygen, don't get stunned, help out other stunned allies, and go into safe zone when he's doing the one-shot. That's the quick rundown of the boss for everybody that just wants to know the main mechanics, assuming that you just dodge all of the AoEs anyways and you can't be bothered to know more than that. Let me now talk about some more specific moves that he does that you may want to know about, and also let me tell you how to deal with a bunch of them. First up, I want to start recommending you to always stay close to your party, or as close as possible, and rarely wander off to your own adventures. That has two reasons. First, if you happened to be stunned off screen for your party members, you would have to use a ping and then be at the mercy of your teammates, A, recognizing the pings, and B, being bothered to walk all the distance in order to free you. However, even if they come try and help you, this could even turn out bad for them because of the AoE one-shot. The AoE one-shot is by no means randomly located, but rather right on top of a player. If you are currently wandering off to get your oxygen on the other side of the map and are being targeted by the safe zone, your entire party would have to move towards you. Or again, if one friend tries to break you free and then the safe zone spawns on the bigger group that's still close to the monster, to the boss, like you bait him into dying with you instead of just being the lone sacrificial lamb. So try always replenishing the oxygen soonish after the one shot already happened, so you will have enough to get past the next one. Talking about oxygen, you may have seen the yellow indicated AoEs throughout the fight already. If not, I should be showing them on screen right now. Those will not only deal damage to you, but also reduce your oxygen by quite a significant amount. In this fight, they are rather easy to dodge. That's why I only mentioned them right now and not earlier. But just so you know what they mean and why they have a different color. While we are on the topic of different colors, I could also mention the dark blue indicators, which are just instant stuns. They don't care about how many stacks you have, they just outright stun you. Especially the first one, or the one in the first phase, where if you get hit by it, you will start casting a beam that can then also stun all of your teammates. So that is really extremely important to dodge, because it happened to us where somebody got hit, then like 4 other players got hit because of that, and then he was doing the one shot, wiping like all of us out on like the first phase right away. Another really important move in second phase is when he starts pedaling backwards, because right after he will come charging forward, instantly stunning anybody he hits with the cone-shaped AoE in front of him. So simply move off to the side when you see him start moving backwards. In my opinion, this is the first boss that I actually consider being pretty tough and requiring some attempts to get used to the attack. So please be patient and do not get frustrated after a fail or two. You will see major improvements of your dodging and your overall managing of the boss after just few attempts. But that is already it for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. Consider dropping by my streams if you have any additional questions or just want to hang out. I hope you are having an awesome day and I see you next time. Until then, bye.